There's a tremendous amount of economic deprivation in the families that the students come from. This borough has some of the poorest, including the poorest wards in London.
The state of health amongst children in Tower Hamlets is quite poor at the moment. Almost 30% of the children in the borough are overweight and another 10% are actually obese, which is actually a lot higher than the national average.
There's a distinct lack of clubs across Tower Hamlets, and that's one of the main factors for children not being able to participate in sport outside of school. There's very few open spaces, big lack of volunteers across the borough and coaches, and a lot of children get all their access to sport through the primary schools and secondary schools that they attend.
Some of our schools have upwards of 40 different home languages spoken within them, and across the borough that number would be in its hundreds. Tower Hamlets has the highest number of under-16s out of any borough in the country, and 2/3 of that under-16 population are youngsters with a Bangladeshi origin. A lot of our pupils are sent over here for a better prospect of education, greater prospect of work.
I experienced quite a lot of difficulties and barriers getting into sport. The clubs that I found out about were always too far away, or the fee to be a member was always just that little bit too much.
When I was younger, like where I lived, there wasn't many sports clubs around, and we had a youth centre, but they only had sports clubs for boys, so it's really hard to get into sport.
It's great that there's finally a programme which addresses all the issues and difficulties kids face in Tower Hamlets.
The aims of the Stepping Stones programme are to increase the amount of physical activity children do, to link in with the mainstream clubs in Tower Hamlets and enable more children to be involved in club sport, to extend holiday provision, to contribute to the children's own development and to the development of the community, the development of the petters and to improve their employability and also to increase their vocational experiences.
The Stepping Stones programme has helped in many ways. The kids aren't on the streets, and so they're not just mucking around, they're actually doing something positive. I think also it raises aspirations for them, seeing coaches from, ethnic minorities, their kind of minority as well. It shows them that just because you're, Black or Asian doesn't mean you can't become a coach. It's bringing together so many different, religions, races, and, they might not normally have had the chance to have, come together had it not been for the Stepping Stones programme.
The employability skills has increased. I've been able to update my personal statements, UCAS, CV. Has helped me, all the way through education and through sport.
The first step in the process was to identify the best sports leaders across the borough and to integrate them into the programme.
The reason behind me wanting to be a petter was basically from being a youth ambassador. I didn't want to just let go of the responsibility, and I was already trained up to be a more confident and someone to be in sports a lot more. Through being a sports ambassador, I was actually elected to give a presentation in front of the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee. I went through our simple roles like umpiring little games, teaching little kids what to do, how to kick a ball, etc. Through just being a youth ambassador, I got to be more involved with the prospect of the 2012 Olympics.
PETAS stands for Physical Education Teaching Assistants. We thought this was a perfect acronym to use for them because it shows the work that they do across the borough, helping all schools with any aspect of their PE.
Hi, my name is Nasima. I've been a petter for a year now. I've been working in Stebburn Primary School, and I've been running their Mile mini clubs during the summer holidays.
I think becoming a petter has improved me personally, as many skills such as organisation, taking control, being able to communicate with a big number of children, that's all enhanced over the past year.
We have two petters in the school. Amaral has been working with Key Stage 1 children. Shuel has been working with class teachers in Year 6 and Year 5. The relationship between the petters and the staff has been excellent. The staff have really appreciated the enthusiasm and the knowledge that both boys have brought. The boys are a role model for our students.
We run a lot of bolt-on courses for them and training courses for the petters to do, so to become experienced coaches, because we are sending them out into primary schools and being, coaches for the school sports partnership. So it's important that they're fully trained and know what they're delivering. We liaise with many key partners and many different people across the borough to try and work out where each mini club should be based and how the borough should be split up. We ended up breaking the borough into 22 different areas with 22 different mini clubs across the whole borough. Each mini club has around 3 to 4 different schools contributing to it. This allows every child, no matter where they live or where they go to school, to have the same access and the same opportunity as everybody else.
There were four of us including myself, who ran the mini club for the kids in the summer, and I hadn't worked with those particular coaches before, and it kind of allowed us to learn off each other as well. I mean, things that I may not necessarily have known before, I was able to learn from other coaches, and I hope they were able to learn something from me.
The mini clubs have focused on using facilities out in the community and not relying just on the traditional, sports arenas. We've got to hope and work to encourage this to be sustained. And one way of sustaining it is not just to have young people from the local community involved in the programme, but to be using, the local facilities right in their area.
Although we had help from the mainstream clubs in the borough setting up and running the mini clubs, it was important to us to have some sort of event where the children could have access to information about all the different clubs in the borough and the opportunities that are available to them after the mini clubs. The neighbourhood games was the ideal place for this. All the 22 mini clubs came together and competed against one another in the 3 prospective sports: cricket, athletics and football. And representatives from all different clubs across the borough came down, gave out information, how to join, where to go next, and each child took away a goodie bag with all that information in.
I really did enjoy the neighbourhood games. It was a new experience for me coming in as a coach and not actually competing myself, being so young. So actually getting connected to the kids, having taught them for the whole summer, actually seeing them compete was amazing. And the fact that we got to 3rd place was really surprising and enjoyable.
Two of my children I've already spoke to and got them into a mainstream club around the area, and I've got feedback from them. They've only been there for a few weeks, but already they're saying, I've done this, I've done that, I've achieved this. They're loving the achievement they're getting, and I guess they're able to expand the ability they have in sport, and it's just great news, great to see them expanding that.
We're going to run a winter pilot this year for a number of reasons, really. The children enjoyed the summer so much that we thought it was silly, really, to not run a winter pilot. The creation of the teams across the borough really came together. The children really came together, and without the winter mini clubs, I think we'd lose them across the winter and they'd forget about the programme.
Piloting the winter mini clubs is a really good idea because it helps the kids stay in sports. When we were running the Whitechapel Wolves, a lot of them asked if it's going to be carrying on during the year because they really enjoy themselves, so it's a good way for kids to stay in sports.
I think it's very valid that we become a charity to help sustain the programme and become more self-sufficient in the future.
The Stepping Stones project is a really positive one. I hope that we'll be able to be involved in it for quite a time to come. I would love to see it develop further. I think there are many ways in which Marner, as a growing school and expanding school, can grow with that and hopefully have many, much more after-school sports provision. We're definitely looking to develop the holiday provision further, and if we can do that jointly, so much the better.
The PETA programme has had a tremendous personal impact on our school, on our college. I mean, we've benefited enormously from hosting it, and we're very well aware of that and grateful for it. It has revolutionised, I think, what goes on in schools.
We're an active mark primary school, and the benefits of having the PETA has allowed us to engage a wider number of children in after-school sports. It's helped us to engage the gender balance in sports, and it's helped us to work not only towards the 3 hours of sport, but the 5 hours of additional sport.
My kid's got a lot more opportunity with these sports because normally you don't get the opportunity for this, and now he's got a lot more opportunity, so it's a great thing that's happened. I think Ollie's doing a great job, and the kids love it, and they got an extra opportunity to do, an extra sports to do.
Before this, my son really didn't get a chance to get involved in things like that because I wouldn't allow him to go down and play just openly in the park.
It's great that Stepping Stone program has allowed me to support my family.
Who are we? Without the Stepping Stones program, none of these children would have had a chance of learning skateboarding in schools.
I've actually gave them more courage and more belief that what they want to do, they can do. And I just gave them that little step forward.
I always wanted to give something back to the community and help them out.
I think my experiences as a petter has definitely improved me personally. It's kind of helped me to become a bit more sociable. It's actually helped me to mature because before this, you know, obviously I wasn't immature, but you know, I wasn't as mature as I am now. I mean, when you're with the petter program, you have young kids which